Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tasha. Let's get into this. Hi, guys. No periodic table, no alien talk this evening. However, the creator came through with the message. Now, I want to first address something, okay? There is an attempt to catch me off guard, to peer and peek and pry into my affairs. For some odd reason, people who are spiritually assaulting me, they are privy to the research that I conduct for the segments. And I think it's so funny because a lot of the times the creator will give me a download and then I have to do research for it, and then sometimes it's just all raw segment. It's no research, right? There is an attempt to stop me and keep me from speaking about certain things. There's not like one thing in particular, but there is an attempt to get me to stop the podcast altogether and to basically like tap out, right? To lose sight of what's going on, to really just kind of like ignore my messages, my intuition, and what the creator may be leading me to. It's very important that we follow our inner guidance. Sometimes you're going to be tired. You're going to feel like things aren't making any sense. It's just going to be a lot of confusion when it comes to your gifts and what type of movements you need to be making on behalf of the creator, and exactly how your gifts are going to be essential and beneficial to other people. Okay, I don't have any reason to feel like I'm afraid. There are people who are banking on me quitting. This is exactly why we're going to start recording really soon. I know I said that, but I didn't set up the space in my new apartment yet in order to go on camera. I'm not really comfortable with going on camera for spiritual reasons with the space that I'm in currently. So I really just thought it important to kind of just first lay some things down and go over some things. First things first, the creator wanted me to kind of backtrack a little bit. I spoke with someone who I truly honor and adore, and he's like a dad to me. And he listened to a few segments, and he stated that the podcast kind of like all over the place, right? And I don't even think that I need to have a particular order, but if he's listening and he's saying that, I don't know who else might think that. So I'm gonna take it to the creator and find out if I'm just a little too sloppy and what changes I need to make if I am, just to get some order and to regroup. This might actually help more people come in and listen. And I'm not saying I don't care if people don't come, but I'm saying whoever is here is here. You're appreciated. We're a community. We're a family. And I'm not really tripping off of people who feel like they need to go, right? Because this spiritual thing comes with an ascension. There's an ascension that's due, and we all have to experience it. So once you go through an ascension, I'm probably no longer something that's in alignment with where you are spiritually in your spiritual process and your growth, right? So there's a lot of different things that we specifically need to like pay attention to and kind of just get ourselves gathered in order, to say, okay, I've noticed this and I'm doing this. I noticed that and I'm going to make the proper changes in order to move forward, to clean it up, to enhance it, to upgrade. It's time for me to make some changes anyway, right? That was the first thing. The second thing is the creator wanted me to start doing research because my schedule it just changed a little bit. Nothing too major, but I have to start working around my current schedule to record, and I don't want to rush. I want to make sure that I have enough time to do research if I'm supposed to be doing any kind of research. I want to make sure that I am okay to move forward with certain segments. And I try to make sure that we are on point and recorded by a certain time, but I can't control time. It's moving really, really fast. I do have a few things lined up. We're going to be getting back into the periodic table soon. We're going to be getting back to the aliens very soon. We're going to be doing a lot of things soon, okay? And this is preparation. What I'm currently doing is preparing myself. And I don't go any direction that the creator doesn't tell me to go, okay? I make sure that the things I'm discussing is what the creator wants me to talk about, to discuss. I don't really like to move ahead. There are times where I have to ask God if he wants me to record something, if there's a particular topic in mind, when I'm not sure if he wants me to put it on the podcast. Sometimes my downloads are just for me. Sometimes my downloads are just for me and it's okay to share them. And sometimes it's strictly for the podcast. It has nothing to do with me, right? And I have to differentiate between these messages, and I have to, because sometimes I get all these downloads at one time and I'm like, okay, wait, this one is that's personal, this is for the podcast, this is for both. Like, there's not really like a fine line in that, in these downloads that will allow the messenger to separate. And I know that this is true for a lot of people that are in the spiritual world. Obviously, the more seasoned you are with your gifts and receiving downloads, then you'll be able to differentiate them better. As you practice, your spiritual maturity will allow you to be able to make better decisions, okay? I'm really big on doing things that I don't want to. But, when God wants you to do something, you don't necessarily know what it's for and why you're doing it. And it may seem really crazy. It may be like awkward and kind of just like a waste of time to you. But if the creator is guiding you to do something or instructing you to do something, it would behoove you, okay? This download that I have was about sleepwalking, okay? And I don't know why anyone would be trying to stop me from going into that. But I'm assuming that whatever we stumble across is going to put some people in a certain position that will kind of take away from whatever it is that they have going on. That's one side of it. And then the other aspect is to simply attempt to be in control of me. But I just would like to have you know that if the Creator gives me a message, He gives me a sign, and He gives me intel. If I didn't record the segment, it's not time for me to record it, even though I started the research last week, okay? It's not up to humans what is on your timetable. God made your schedule, okay? Your itinerary is God's, okay? And we talked about that, right? We all know that. Well, most of us believe that. A lot of people do not, right? A lot of people, they believe that they create their own realities and that they die when they're ready to, and that's another topic. But the gist of this conversation is to pretty much look out for the things that we do have coming, to kind of just be aware of your spiritual surroundings, and to really not be afraid to make decisions that you don't really like, that you're not in favor of, right? Just because you're not in favor of it doesn't mean that it's bad, right? This could be something you absolutely positively need for your own good. Most of us have this misconception, and when I say most of us, I'm saying people who are not spiritually in tune. They don't practice a higher level of thinking, meaning they're not conscious, or what we would say woke or awake. And some people are just negative, right? Some people are just negative by nature. It's in their nature to be negative, right? A lot of people are not going to be on board with your decision to prevail and move forward in certain areas and industries and fields and different avenues. And it's extremely important for you to understand how these things are operating. I don't necessarily care, right? But if God is putting me in the position to receive downloads that are not for me, to make certain decisions that will affect other people, whether it's spiritual or physical, I have to be aware. I have to be in tune. I have to be in a position where I could make good decisions, right? You don't want to be the person that makes a bad choice simply because you had a bad day, right? And we know this, right? Your emotions should not be overshadowing or overpowering your common sense, your smarts, and what you've been told by the Creator. We know that, but sometimes we need reminders. And it's okay to need a reminder. It's nothing wrong with needing a reminder. Everyone needs a reminder every now and again, okay? That's not the issue. The issue is that most of us don't fully understand our position and our place. And sometimes we are better than we give ourselves credit for. And sometimes we're not humble enough and we're not as good as we think, right? Just put that wherever it goes. And this wasn't even like a download for real. This was just me going into some of the things that need to be addressed, because people are thinking that they have more power than they do, and they do not have the power that they think they have. And this realization will allow us to make better choices. This realization will allow us to take our position so we can start moving and getting things done. It's no more time for child's play. It's a lot of things changing. And yeah, it's about to get wild and wicked out here, like in a good way and a bad way. All right. But I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all have been drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it's free. And I hope y'all got y'all water, child, because it's about to be hot. All right. Love y'all. Peace.